The topic that we are going to cover today is about leaves, stems, and roots. Flowering plants. Flowering plants come in all shapes and sizes. It is plants like these that help our planet gets its color. If you observe around the earth, the different landforms that we have, a part of the many landforms like from mountains, hills, oceans, seas, we also have a splendid colorful amount of flowering plants in it. So, and it comes in all shapes and sizes, and this is what gives our splendid color to the earth. If you view the planet earth from the space, it has different patches. You can also consult your book, and this is the image that I got from the internet. There are green, orange, yellow, blue, brown, many shades that you can see. The patches colored dark green are the rainforests. They are the hot, sunny, and wet, and they are the perfect um, scenario for growing the trees. Grasses, they grow best in the areas that are colored yellow, which are the drier. The areas colored orange get lesser rain, and the only desert plant that grows in this area is the cactus. Now let's read about the organs of the flowering plants. Most flowering plants have leaves, stems, and roots. These organs work together to keep their plant alive. Flowering plants grow extra organs in flower when they are about to reproduce. This is a very general picture of the parts of plants. You can see a plant has roots, stem, leaves, flowers, and then besides many flowers, there are different types of flowers. There are also flowers that shed seeds that can later help in the reproduction of plant. And I'm sure you must know what a plant needs to grow, isn't it? It needs sunlight, air, water, and soil. Leaves absorb energy from the sunlight and make the plants. See this diagram? What is the important function of leaf in a plant? It gets the light, absorb it, and then it makes the food of the plant from that energy. The stem transports water and food and support the leaves and flowers. And what is the function of the stem? That it further transports the water that is being taken by the roots, and it is basically the main transportation organ of the plant. It gives that water to the leaves and the flowers that eventually helps the plants to grow. Roots hold the plant in place and absorb water and minerals from the soil. Flowers produce seeds so that plant can reproduce. So this is basically just like the human body, the different organs in our body that help us to live, like the respiratory system, digestive system, circulatory system. It is because of this that we live. Same goes for the plants. The roots, they help it anchor in the soil. The stems and the branches helps in the transfer of water. The leaves, they help in making the food of the plants, and the flowers, they eventually produce seeds that can further reproduce. Now let's read about the extra functions of the plants. Cactus is one of the plants I'm sure many of you have seen. It doesn't produce flowers. Okay, it has spines all around, spikes. Cactus doesn't have leaves like most of the plants. Instead, it has spines to protect it. Its green stems takes over the job of making food. The swollen stem stores water to keep the plant alive. It is mostly grown in the dried and the desert areas, or you can see in the if you have different plants in your home, and if you have cactus, it doesn't have leaves. It is not a colorful flowering plant. It's rather very dry. But see, that's the making of our Lord. That the swollen stems that it has, that stores the water to keep the plant alive. Like once the water is received by the plant, it is being stored in that particular pot to give the plant a constant supply of water. There are mangrove plants, if you have read about them. Mangrove have these are also different types of plants. Some mangrove roots point upwards instead of down. These specialized roots collect air, so mangroves can grow in muddy water because mostly mangroves are grown not in a very uh, area that has air, water, or everything. They have to be grown in muddy and the areas where you don't have a good supply of all the nutrients that a plant need. So it gets all the things from the roots that are not grown inside but outside. The lost organs. Plants that are parasite doesn't make their own food like most of the plants. They don't steal the food and water from other plants. They don't need leaves or green stems. They just send up a flower when they need to reproduce. These are the phytoplants, you can say. They depend on the food of the other plant that they linger upon. Now this is a Japanese Todus plant that you can see in the picture. A Japanese Todus survives with just a stem. It sends suckers into the trees to steal food and water. It can make flowers but can also reproduce without them. When a bit of stem breaks off, it grows into a whole new plant. So you can see these branches that are on the tree. They are basically the Japanese Toder, and it's getting all its nutrients from that tree. So the important points that you have learned from today's lecture is that you have to remember that leaves absorb energy from sun and make plants food. Number 2, the stem transports water and food and thus supports the leaves and flowers. What is the function of roots? Roots hold plant in place and absorb water and minerals. The flowers produce seeds for the reproduction. These are the main points that you have to remember, okay? Thank you very much, and you can please feel free to ask me questions anytime on WhatsApp. Bye bye.